G'day guys, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to go play 18 holes with Sam from Bayside Golf around the beautiful links at Lofferton. This course is not currently available on the beta server. It's in pre-beta, but Greg has released it to his Patreon members so we can go and play it first. This course still has things like the lighting needs to be done. There's a few other things that Greg wants to tidy up. But if you are subscribed to him on Patreon, then you will get early access to this course. I'll leave his Patreon account linked in the description. But today, I'm going to go play 18 holes with Sam. Like I said, we're playing a scramble. And this video is... yes, we're playing a scramble, but it's more of an interview style with Sam. I wanted people to get to know the man behind Bayside Golf. And also I asked him a lot of questions like, you know, how did Bayside Golf start? What led to Bayside Golf starting? In Australia, we don't have access to a lot of launch monitors, and we don't have access to a lot of premium high-end materials, you know, like impact screens and things like that. We have to get them imported. So in today's video, I talked to Sam about that. He gives me his view on simulated golf as it currently stands now. We talk about what's coming in the future. There are some exciting things coming, so stay tuned. But yeah, sit back, enjoy as I play 18 holes with Sam around the links at Lofferton. And welcome to the channel, Sam, the owner and the founder of Bayside Golf. I guess this is the first time you've been on the channel, but we started this partnership. I'm going to say it was about 3 months ago that we officially partnered. And it's just brought so much opportunity to the Joe Legasky Golf, you know, YouTube channel with all these different launch monitors. And straight out of the gate, I've just got to ask, how did Bayside start? Like, how did it all start? Talk us through, just real quick while the course is loading, talk us through the journey.
Yeah, it's one of those journeys where I guess it's only when you stop and look back, you kind of think about, oh, okay, we've actually come quite far. But essentially it started like most sim builds start. So I wanted to play more golf. Juggling like job, family and stuff was just impossible to get out on the course. So we moved to a bigger house and had this garage, and I thought I'm gonna get into, you know, how do you put a sim together, join all the Facebook groups and kind of learn from that, build one myself. And it didn't take long to realize that, you know, a lot of those people in those groups are from the US and they have a lot of products. And like most industries, the US has a lot more choice than we do in Australia. And yeah, it was a case of how do I put something good together, and I didn't feel that there was enough here to build, I guess, a high quality sim at a price point that wasn't, you know, doing a full custom build that goes into the tens of thousands. So that led me to design this product, which is obviously our Bayside Golf enclosures. That was a long process. I don't recommend anyone does that. So it's a hell of a lot of work gone into it, but I think it was really the key thing that we needed to do as a business or actually to start the business really, is to have a product that, you know, I think was a differentiator and something in the market that didn't exist before. So this product, I guess, springboarded us onto other things and helped us to build other relationships with, you know, a lot of the brands that we deal with today.
Yeah, absolutely. And I definitely agree with that. Like I think it would have been about the same time you were kind of starting up and maybe going through your testing phase that I was also like building my own sim in my garage. And I probably looked on those same forums. I looked at the same posts and I saw there was a few products in Australia, but nothing that really stood out as like a really good quality product. And so that's why I decided to build my own and then get all the stuff imported from America, which ended up blowing up the costs ridiculously because had to pay import fees and all this other stuff. But yeah, so I guess coming from that, I know exactly what you're talking about with trying to get that sort of quality product in Australia.
It's kind of a simple business model, I guess. But I think once you, and look, I say to our customers all the time, like my job isn't really, or our job, I should say, you know, we've got a team together at the moment who are helping people build sims every day. And I think moreover, what we ask is, we're not trying to tell you what to buy. It's more a case of if you do the research, you're going to end up, we believe, with these products based on your budget. And I think when you look in these golf simulator forums and you ask questions, very rarely do you get people that have like a 50-50 split. It's generally a big 90-10 split of what people believe you should buy with your budget. So we kind of echo that, I guess, with our customers and say, look, this is what we believe you should buy for your budget. This is going to be the best sim. Of course, go and do your research. And more often than not, it turns out that that is really, I think, the best route to go down. So with more and more products becoming available, that becomes a bit more of a bigger discussion. But that's our job, right? Our job is to know what the products do, what the limitations are, and where they fit. And then obviously once we talk to a customer about what their budget is, their space, and what they're looking to get from a sim, that's when we can really point them in the right direction.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll come on to those packages. I've got a bunch of questions to ask you, but we'll come on to the packages in a minute. But first off, I mean, we're on the first tee at the Links at Lofton. I mean, how incredible
It's insane.
does this course
And,
look?
Obviously, I'm going to jump in with the shout out, actually, Joe. But shout out to Greg McDonald, who's actually a Bayside customer.
Yeah.
He came to me and bought an enclosure quite a while ago now, and I never forget. He said to me, I'm going to design courses on this because I have some experience in graphic design or some sort of similar area. And I'll be honest, I was like, yeah, okay, like it's not as easy as it looks. And then the next thing I know, he pops up and I see these courses he's designing, and they're arguably some of the best on the platform at the moment. So it's incredible to see. And this, you know, obviously you'll be sharing this screen, but even on this enclosure here, what we're looking at, these rocks and the water, and it is just stunning. It's amazing how far things have come.
It is incredible what he's done for the community. And I mean, I'll echo that as well. Massive shout out to Greg. If you haven't done so already, you can support this guy on Patreon. I'm going to give him a plug. I will leave a link in the description to his Patreon. He has designed some incredible courses for GS Pro. Sanctuary Moon is probably my favorite fantasy course, and it's up there with my favorite course on GS Pro. This is just incredible. I mean, what the guy has done in such a short period of time to get to where he is now is just insane. I will say though, this course right now, as you see it, is still in beta. I believe this is the first time that anyone's shown this course off or potentially played it other than himself. And so the lighting and the sky and things like that are still not complete. So this is going to look even better when it's in its final build. Okay, I will select your name, Sam. I'll see if you can go first. Right, you're on the tee. So do you want to lead us off? We are playing a scramble today.
Bit of first tee nerves.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That is lovely. That is exactly what we needed.
Yeah, because this is like the Bryson Break 50 challenge where they just do some insurance and you just go for the green. So
Absolutely. We do have soft green, so I should just be able to hopefully just fly this at the middle of the green. A lot of people think like playing sim golf, you don't get nervous and, you know, it's not real golf. But if you go and play in some of those tour events and there's a bit of pressure on, like even now, I'm standing over this shot just going, don't screw this up. Probably not the best thing to be thinking, but that's the reality. Oh, I've toe hooked it.
and that is why
That could be out of bounds.
I said it's important to have insurance. Oh, okay.
Exactly. Right, we will take yours.
Okay. I must say, not my favourite shots, these.
These are tough.
Yeah.
You've got to have a method. Sit.
Yeah.
Okay. How far did you carry it? We are on soft green, so I mean we can carry it almost all the way there. Yeah. I think about 36 yards should be perfect for a carry distance.
I carried it 36 metres, so I think it's showing metres on mine.
Oh, I've done it as well. I've done the same thing. Okay. We're going to need a chip in. It just shows you, even though it's a short hole, it's still not easy. You've still got to hit good shots.
Oh, 100%. So, and these, I guess, yeah, this isn't great, is it?
No, we've given ourselves a tough shot.
Yes, I kind of think, am I just going to hit this into the bank and let it bounce right? Okay.
Yeah, but you got to remember we're soft greens as well, so you have to hit it a little bit harder than you think.
Okay. Oh, do you know what? I'm happy with
that's
that.
lovely.
I mean, that's a horrible little shot.
Absolutely.
Oh,
I'll tell you what, it's better than mine.
I mean, I've done my bit now, Joe. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Okay. Second, let's just put that behind us. That didn't happen. We got a par. Second hole at Lofton. I mean, check this. I'm going to do a
Yeah.
flyover real quick because this hole is special. This is absolutely special. I can see in the future a hole-in-one challenge on this hole. But this hole, I believe this is the signature hole. I could be wrong, but I think this is the signature hole here at Lofton. Yep.
A little bit of wind off to the right. My miss is left, so I'm going to aim a little bit right. It's short and left.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I think that's out of bounds.
I'm just going to hit.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, I don't know. It says as it lies.
Oh, no.
That's all right.
Little 3/4 9-iron should be perfect. While I'm hitting this shot, Sam, do you want to talk through, so Bayside Golf, you do packages. Do you want to talk through just some of the different package options and why, you know, getting a package option is going to be something good if you're getting into sim golf?
Yeah, I think I said earlier that, you know, if you do your own research, you're probably going to end up in the same, or coming up with the same products that, you know, you would find asking the community. You know, with our packages, I think really it takes the need to do that out of it a bit. So if you've got a particular budget and a particular space and you want to get particular things, oh, look at this. Job done.
Right, he's back.
Yeah, you know, if you have a particular budget and space, there's a package that is generally going to be right for you in our opinion, and that's why we decided to put packages together. Even if you don't necessarily just choose one and pull the trigger, I think just looking through them kind of gets your head around what products you have, what the differences are between them, and, you know, what those budget jumps are going to do for you. So just an example of that would be if we look at our par package, which is, you know, we're very transparent about how that's an entry-level package. So the short game generally isn't going to be there. So the putting might not be very great. Short shots might not come up as you'd expect. The launch angles of your shots, for example, if you do flop shots, they might no read. You know, that's what you should expect when you have more of that kind of entry-level launch monitor. So we're very clear about that's what you get for your money. If you want to go to that next level, you're going to have something that has a bit more capability in that area. And that's, like I said, that's sort of where we're clear on this is what you get for your money. So when you buy a package from us, you're not going to set it up with expectations here when the products are actually going to be here, right? So it's all about just figuring out what you can get for your budget. And a common thing sim golfers do, or golfers in general actually, is, you know, we're always upgrading. We always go, I wish I bought the better one, which is easier said than done when you tell people, you know, you should invest in the better one. But I think we see it all the time. People get something and then a month down the track, I wish I'd got the next one up, for example. So we kind of tell
100%.
people, look, a budget's your budget, but at least invest in the other stuff that's going to be quality, right? So if you buy a full sim setup from us and you just do the par package, you're in a position to upgrade very easily. You're not going to have to buy a new enclosure. You're not going to have to buy a new hitting mat. Your PC can upgrade the GPU in it, right? It's not stuck at its specs, right? You can upgrade those things easily. So you're not wasting money, right?
Yeah. And so those packages, you're going to get the exact same enclosure, the exact same turf. All of those components are going to be the same. The upgrade, or the real thing, the upgrade you're paying for is the launch monitor.
Absolutely. And obviously you can go HD or 4K. We keep it simple. We work directly with BenQ on our projectors. And look, we do sell other brands, but for us, you know, we do the testing and we feel that BenQ really is the best in market in terms of the quality. So that's why we put them in our packages. And, you know, if you buy a package today, the chances of you buying that same package and it's all the same products next year are pretty slim. Like, we're always going to continue to offer what's new and what's the best for your money, right? Let's try and hit one.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, you hit one and I'll keep talking. So I guess that's where I'm very lucky because I have the Albatross package with the Pro TVX. Oh no, I'm gonna be under pressure here. Bounce off the rocks.
I mean,
okay, I've been called up. Yeah, I guess I'm very lucky. I've got the Albatross package, which is your high-end package, overhead launch monitor, incredible. But the really cool thing about this partnership and the cool thing about what you've just said is you are open and honest with all of your reviews. And so people are going to get an honest, view, or they're going to know what they're getting themselves into with a launch monitor. If they get an R10, if they get an MLM2 Pro or the Square, there are limitations to those devices, and you can watch my videos to actually figure out what you're getting yourself into before you get it.
100%. And this is why we sent, especially after watching that shot, this is why we would rather you test the products than me. I'm not a very good golfer, as you'll figure out in here. But, you know, having someone like yourself that actually knows golf sim, in my opinion, better than anyone else on YouTube, I think, you know, you've been doing this a long time and your swing is so consistent that you know your numbers inside out as well. So to have someone like that, I guess, in the team is really helpful for us to then be able to have those discussions with customers and say, this is what we find this is how close it is to something in the premium end. These are the limitations we're seeing, and just be transparent, right? Because it really doesn't make a difference, you know, to me. Like I don't want to just sell as many as I can. It's more about making sure that people get what's right for them. That is strike.
Yeah. That was a safety shot.
Oh, that was just a safety shot.
I just wanted to keep us safe. As I was thinking about that, you were talking about my swing, you were talking me up a bit there, and I was thinking, please don't just rope hook this into the water.
All right. Okay. This is hard.
That was going through my head while you were talking.
This is the hard thing about GS Pro, right? So we're in the rough now, and people always ask me this, you know, how does it account for different lies? Should I put rough in my sim room? Should I put sand in my sim room, right? This GS Pro takes care of it. So this really is a 7-iron for me, but I know coming out of the rough, it's going to take a lot of that speed and spin off. So really, these kind of distances are actually incredibly hard for me to hit, as not a very big hitter anyway. So I've kind of got to hit a 6-iron pretty well to get there at the moment, when this would normally be like a 7 or sometimes an 8.
Yeah.
So I've hit that 100. Yeah, see, that's taking it off.
Oh, be good. Be good. Oh, what a shot. You are kidding.
I think that's actually,
this is a
yeah,
stitch
I didn't
up.
warm up as well, which I should have warmed up. It was technical issues.
That was such a good shot.
I
love that.
That's the thing, right? Is you know, I'm going to have to take a bigger club. Like if I was warmed up, I might have gone for a 7, but it's a 6 all day long when you haven't hit enough balls.
Yep. Oh, I pulled it. Solid strike, I just pulled it.
Oh, wow. I thought we were on the wrong ground. I was looking at that. That's not going to get there. That's a different green. Okay.
Yeah, so while you hit this, so percentages, you can see there in the left-hand side. So the actual rough generally takes off about 6%, and then it also takes off a bit of spin as well. So you've got to account for that. And GS Pro is different to other softwares. So GS Pro is going to give everyone dynamic penalties. So what that means is, depending on your speed, your launch angle, all of these things come into account, and that it's going to basically determine how it affects your ball flight. So it's quite clever. It's not just a bog standard number every time.
And you know, this a common thing I'll say to people is, if you see that distance there was like 155, I carried the ball, but it actually went maybe 140 or something. Once you start getting up to like 180, 190 meters, if I'm in the deep rough, I have no club that can actually get there, because even if I hit a 3-wood really well that carries 200 meters, because the launch angle is so low, the penalty increases. So you're kind of hitting it longer, but being penalised more. So it's hard to creep those distances up. So like 180 meters out of deep rough to the green, I can't actually get there. And I think that's great, because it stops you from, you know, just hitting every shot off a perfect lie and getting the same distance every time.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, it's realistic.
I got under that one.
That is fine.
My tee actually came off of the K2 tees. I don't know where it went. It's really bizarre.
All right, I am going to go try and send it over everything, get us close. Oh, I thinned it. Not a good strike. Get on the path. So that's going to be deep rough. We do actually have a fair bit of green to work with, though.
I would rather go, yeah, closer.
Let's go this one then.
Yep. Okay, 68.
So actually, I intentionally hit that in there because I wanted to talk about the deep rough now. We've
course
talked about the rough.
You're a professional. Here we go.
Yeah.
Um,
So deep rough is going to be 25%
okay.
penalty.
So 25%. So
25 to 27%.
So essentially, if I normally carry this club, let's say 75, 80, might be the right club. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see about that. 77. I didn't
Go.
strike it very well.
So I'll be playing this. So I've got 78 yards. So I'm effectively playing a 97.5 yard shot to this pin. So I might even just play just a lob wedge. It'll also take off spin as well. There you go. So you got the percentages there. So it took off 19%, and then almost half your spin. That's got to sit. I just hit that so well. That lob wedge flew 105 yards raw. I don't think I've ever hit a lob wedge that far. Putting. I love putting on GS Pro. Everyone says, oh, you can't putt in a simulator, but you actually can. And learning how to putt in a simulator, you can get very good at your horizontal launch angle and speed control. And you can really improve your putting in a simulator inside.
What was the stimp on these again, Joe? 11?
Yeah. 11. I put it as 11.
Yeah, 100%. You know, the reality is, you know, you're looking at this green, you're having to read it. Like, and I misread that, and I'll tell you exactly how I misread that. It wasn't a bad putt per se. It was, I didn't read the uphill. So you can see obviously the dots coming towards us. I didn't take that into account. I was only looking at the left and right. So you still have to read the green. It's a very good simulation of real putting. And then, of course, with the Pro T being so accurate with short game and putting, you're going to see whether you actually hit the putt straight within 0.1 of a degree. And, of course, the speed is always going to be accurate as well. This is a very good putt.
Absolutely. Go. Oh, I just blocked it.
Same thing, right? So
I just blocked it.
whether you know you missed that because of the putt itself, not the read. So you picked the right spot, but you pushed the putt right. So you can see on your Pro T Labs there, you actually how far did you push that? Like 1 degree?
It says 0.5 of a degree, right?
So, and you know, 0.5 of a degree across that length, 100% missed right. So you know, if you start hitting 0.0, you're going to get a lot less of those, right? Not great.
Okay, we have a par 5. This course just looks incredible. This has got to be, I mean, I'm saying this has got to be the best course on GS Pro now.
It's like Game of Thrones. The detail on, like, you know, butterfly down there in the grass.
Yeah, the butterfly. I mean, it's just, it's so good.
A lot of detail.
And I know Greg will probably be watching this just thinking, you guys don't even realise, like, this isn't finished yet.
Yeah, I can tell because the sky is just blank.
Yeah. Should be good. Kick left. Oh, just in the semi. There is a bit of a hill in front of us, but we're on an upslope, so it should be fine.
I mean, I don't think I can really get there, but I might as well go for it.
Semi-rough will take off 1% of power.
Yeah, I think that depends how you hit it, because so we're in the semi-rough, okay, fair enough. What does that go up to in deep rough?
6% for me.
Yeah, okay, let's hit this and see. It's a 3-wood. I've just bladed it across the ground.
Yeah, and it just hit into that upslope. See, this is, in real life, you'd be standing here just going, this is quite dodgy because, I mean, there is a chance you can hit into this upslope in front of even me.
Well,
I'm thinking, can I actually clear that?
I'll be honest, I duck hooked that, so it came out like a low bullet.
Okay.
So I think you'll be fine.
All right. I'm going to hit
And
a
if you
hybrid.
look, it's 3.9 degrees up, so it should technically launch a bit higher.
It is. We are on an upslope, yeah.
I mean,
Very
it's
good. Oh, I've hit it
melted
too well, I think.
220.
I just hit that so good.
What was that?
That was a 3 hybrid. So usually 3 hybrid for me carries 230.
Okay.
That one is just like, I've just pounded
So
it.
that'll be showing on my screen in meters, right?
Yeah,
So
that's right, yeah.
So your raw carry there was 220 meters. That's wild. That's what I carry. That's what I carry
Yeah.
my driver.
Oh, do it. Come on.
Too hard.
Now, you aimed that.
Not enough.
Where did you aim that?
I can't see your screen.
Was kind of the right side of the circle, was it? The guinea circle?
I'd say even more. Yeah, you
Even
need to go
more?
more than that. Yeah, it really took it.
Okay.
It's actually a bit downhill as well, right? So once it gets
It
over
is,
that
yeah.
hill, it really throws it left.
So it's only playing 31, so 33 feet is a field. Come on, let's hole a bomb.
Yeah, it needed to be way right, didn't it?
It
Oh,
did.
it's
I
still
mean,
going.
I aimed that
Oh, my
way right.
word.
Oh, it's not even a gimme. Oh, no. And this is stimp 11. This isn't even stimp 13. I just smashed it, I guess.
Oh God, it's in.
Oh, wow. We literally both putted it off the green.
What do you? I suppose. Did you take mine?
How far is yours off the green?
I don't like putting off the green on this either.
You're not? I'm going to putt
Okay,
this.
I'll putt it as well. Make sure I choose putter.
We can't. I can't believe we putted off the green, both of us.
Oh, I can't. I'm really struggling to read this. I need to aim right at the pin, right?
Yeah. So yeah, it's gonna.
That's weird.
It's gonna come out right. I'd almost go right edge. I'd pretty much go where you had it. Yeah. Now it's
weird. It's changing. Do you know? I think we'll be okay here. I'm just going to try and hit this.
Yeah.
As I can.
I like that.
Oh, it's really.
Just
it's
had to
really
hit it, I reckon.
uphill.
Yeah. Not a bad part. It's pretty much. Did you just go straight?
Yeah,
or you went just
literally
outside
just left
didn't you?
edge. But it's weird when I aim left, the slope towards the pin went more left. It's weird.
So 24, 36. This is like a 40-foot field putt. And we're coming out of the fringe as well. Let me select putter.
Oh, collider.
Oh, I got a collider. Got a collider.
Brag.
Yeah, that will be going in the post-game report to Greg.
Do you know what? That is always my fear. Is I actually chip those quite a lot if I play a sim round.
To be fair, I haven't really seen a collider like that for a long time, and I've been putting a lot of them.
Honestly, I get them all the time.
Sounded pretty good.
Yeah, getting under it a bit, but that's okay.
That is fine. All right, I got another question. So with launch monitors, it's an exciting time. We've seen a lot of new launch monitors, especially in the budget end of the market, come out recently. I'm going to have a video out soon showing off a few more of these launch monitors that are coming out. So that's super exciting. But talk through, I guess, what launch monitors you offer, and we share like a common passion about bringing sim golf, to everybody in Australia that we can, and bringing the best launch monitors into Australia. I guess, could you elaborate on that and just talk through that?
Yeah, so I guess first thing really is, we're totally independent. We're not owned by any of the big brands. So I believe that in terms of our opinions or what we suggest a customer goes with is just, there's no other reason we say something other than we think that's going to be the right fit. And again, to be transparent, like, you don't make a lot of money on launch monitors. That's always kind of been the way. So I think that's a good thing. I think if the incentive for us is to push a certain product because we make more money, that's not necessarily a good thing. So I think, making money on things that we truly believe in, like our enclosures and everything else that we sell, that's great. But, when it comes to, picking a launch monitor for someone, yeah, we're just totally about asking, okay, well, what do you want from it? And then the first thing we're going to say to you is whether you're actually going to be able to do it with that budget, right? So, if someone comes to us with a particular budget and I just know that their expectations are way too high, we just have a conversation and say, look, I don't think you're going to be able to get what you need for that budget. So it's kind of simple, I guess, but I think, in my opinion, there is a bit of, most products are advertised in the best way possible, right? So when you advertise a product, you always talk about every single positive and you wouldn't talk about any negatives because that wouldn't make any sense. But really, I think that clouds it a bit. And I think for people that only see all the positives, it really makes it difficult to make a decision because it's like, well, everything sounds like the best thing since sliced bread, right? But I think that's why
Yeah.
it's important to, work with someone that has experience with as many launch monitors as possible, is not going to direct you down one road just because that's all they sell or just because they want to sell them for any other reason. And I think that's why, yeah, we're quite unique in that sense. I think actually, I haven't actually looked at this, but I think we probably sell more launch monitors than any other brand in Australia, but I'm not actually sure. We're the only Foresight reseller in Australia, which is a big thing. Obviously, I think, again, in my opinion, they are the gold standard of indoor golf. I don't think anyone comes as close to that kind of gold standard brand for indoor golf. So that's a really great relationship and obviously helps us to see, what the benchmark is, I guess.
Yeah, they are. They're great for benchmarking, and like you said, they've been around the longest. They've got that reputation, that brand name. You look at the PGA Tour. You look at people like Bryson, who is just a data nerd, and Bryson uses a Foresight GC
Say that
quad.
I say it
I
every
mean, that
time,
kind of
and
should tell
that's
you.
exactly it, right? He's the mad scientist
Yeah,
of golf, and he has a GC quad with him. And I think, say no more,
yeah.
right? Literally, you watch the guy talk about
He
golf.
literally takes that
Yeah,
thing with
right.
him everywhere.
Look, it is one of those things. If people say I prioritize accuracy over absolutely everything, then you've got to pay for that, right? The products Foresight have
Yeah,
are expensive for a reason. They're not doing it just because they want to make more money. Like it is when you look at the processes and what it goes through and the patents they have and the technology they have, it's that's what the price you pay. But look, there's, like you said, there's so many other products that are coming out where you get something that's close enough, right? Because for a lot of golfers, they don't need that accuracy, and that's just the way it is. But again, that's why
yeah,
that conversation is so important, to make sure that you don't buy something that you have the incorrect expectations for.
yeah. Absolutely. In saying that, though, I just want to give a plug to protein.
Yeah, sure.
I'm currently using a new beta, and this thing is pretty remarkable with what you get now in terms of the actual accuracy of the data is just it's pretty insane. Get in.
Yeah,
Yes, good putt.
I look, we've been selling Proti for, and look, not we didn't sell it from day one, and again, I'm perfectly clear about why we don't sell launch monitors on day one most of the time, is because really you need to be a bit conscious of how long it takes to refine these things. I think with the Garmin R50,
Yeah,
we're a bit more, that they've already got a very well established product in market, and I think at that price point for the R50, they know what it needs to do, and I am confident that their testing would mean it would be pretty solid out of the box. But yeah, I think
yeah,
for a lot of products you've got to wait and see how they perform. We've tried a few products before where we've just, even myself, being a 20 marker, I can still tell that the data's just not there with my comparisons, and we won't sell them because what's the point, right? Why would we sell something that we know isn't good enough?
yeah, yeah.
Draw. Oh wow.
That is going to a little kick. Yeah, absolutely. And all these launch monitors as well, like they do come out. A lot of them take a while to find their feet, but I think what happens with the launch monitors is they can come out and not perform great at the start, but with firmware updates, they can completely change and, become a really good launch monitor just with time.
Yeah, and with the Pro T, that's why, again, I trust you to test it over me. And, this partnership is about that. It's about you telling me what you think is accurate or what's not accurate. And I think the really key thing that you highlighted with the Pro T was the consistency is there. So if something is consistently incorrect by 1 mile an hour or 100 RPM or whatever it may be, if it consistently does that, that's a very good sign, because it means the technology being used to get that data is actually great, and it's consistent in those readings. If the readings start to come out all over the place, how do you fix that, right? That's not fixable by an algorithm or just the way that it calculates stuff, right? So I think that was really good to see. And from my perspective, the Pro T for me, as someone that is working on their game and when I get a chance, it's unbelievable for what it offers for the price, I think. And, when it comes to just playing a round of golf and not telling someone how to use a sim, like I put the ball on the ground, you hit the ball, you hit it where you want it to go, and that's it. You don't need to do anything else, right? There's no difficulty in using them, which I think is a big thing these days as well. I'm just going to go left edge. What do you think?
Yeah, I like that.
Ever so slightly. I was scared I wasn't going to hit it.
Yeah. So that one, I reckon I've got to go a bit more than the left edge then.
Yeah, because if you hit it slower, it's going to take that slope at the other end a bit harder.
Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't hit it,
Oh,
Sam.
no.
I didn't hit it.
Oh, such a good line. Okay, what?
I just
Okay,
didn't
we're
hit
3
it.
under. That's not too bad.
3 under's okay. Around, this course, we've been having a chat. That's my excuse anyway.
Yeah.
We've got a par 5 though.
Okay, yeah, so eagle opportunity.
Bomb it. Swing hard.
Okay. I swung hard.
That's not bad. Stay there. That's fine. That is safe. Do you find, I don't know if you've done much speed training or swinging hard, but do you find when you swing hard, do your misses get worse?
Yeah, I
same?
played this week, and every single shot that I swung hard was a duck hook with driver, and then every time I took something off was a fade. So I think there's a direct correlation between what's happening with my hands and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah. I think it's weird. I think speed is something that outside I feel like I don't need to add as much speed, whereas inside here I feel like you're quite restricted with space. So I probably swing a lot harder in here because I know I have to in a way.
Yeah.
But outside, yeah, I think I get the same distances with less effort, it feels. But again, unless you're playing off scratch or single figures and you're a consistent ball striker, you don't really know what's happening, I believe anyway.
Yeah, there is indoor swing syndrome's a real thing.
Oh, absolutely.
And yeah, I think a lot of people don't realize how much it actually affects you.
Yeah, it's 100% a real thing, because, your subconscious is 100% thinking about other things. And if in this space, for example, I know I've got space, but yeah, outside, I think there's just that, you have that bit more freedom to really swing. But I suppose I've had this for quite a while, and I think the distances now are pretty much exactly the same as outside.
Yeah, you definitely get used to it. Stay there. Stay in the fairway. Semi-rough's fine. I just hit my drive horrendous. I hit it straight out the heel. So hopefully I can make up for it. We're on a downslope though.
Yeah, 6.7 degrees.
Try and hit a solid forward up there.
That sounded fast.
Oh, I just hooked it.
That's fine.
It was quick.
Yeah, I heard. Oh, no.
Stay.
Oh, that's okay. It's held up.
That's all right. It's just rough. Yeah. Yeah, that was 160 ball speed with the forward. That was.
I could hear how fast that was just in the headphones. Okay,
Yeah.
so 8 degrees up, 2.3 degrees left, rough. How far do I want to hit this? This is the problem.
So we've got soft
This is the
greens.
problem. I'm in meters as well, so mine's 31 meters.
So I would be trying to carry it 31 meters as a
Okay.
feel, and that should be good because I'm going to try and carry it 34 yards.
I've hit it 39.
All right, I'm going to go 34 as a feel. This is actually a tough shot because you look at the green and you can see there's an upslope as well. All right, come on. 34. Don't have to hit it hard.
34.
38. Sit.
Oh, okay.
Just see. Look, 4 yards too far. I just needed 4 yards less.
Do you think that when I speak to golfers about, playing outside is what everyone normally does, and then they get a sim, so they're kind of thinking about what's the differences and stuff. And
Yeah.
watching golfers here that have always used feel for distance within 50 meters, for example, they're never really getting out their rangefinder, right? It's definitely a look at how far it is and land it where you're looking. It's so weird how that kind of doesn't work in a sim because the depth perception just isn't the same. And you have to kind of use numbers. But some of the feedback I've got from customers is now that they've learned to hit numbers, they can do that on demand because they're so used to hitting a visual representation of that yardage, for example. They then, if you say to them 30 meter carry at 30 meters, they can find that 30 meters repeatedly and easily, right?
Yeah.
So it's great to have that as well. So when you use a sim and you can use your watch or whatever and know exactly how far you've got to carry it, I think it just improves your game all round. And I think I've definitely had a lot more success from being able to practice those shots and know, where's my 20 meter shot, because it's very difficult to practice those outside, I find.
Absolutely. And I can't echo that enough. Like, my feels on the sim. Oh, what a good putt. I did not want to putt that. I was going, please, the Scotty. The Scotty's just.
Yeah, I'm.
Since
Yeah,
you've gone to
sorry,
that Scotty,
sorry,
it's just
lab.
so good.
But yeah, lab is not for me. I believe in your technology, but your technology doesn't work for me.
I love my lab. But no, going back to the point of yardages, like I cannot echo that enough because I was a field player outside and I did base all my, shots on feel. I am so much better a wedge player now than I used to be just because I have checkpoints in my swing that I can go to. Oh no.
It's so weird. I find
All right,
a duck
the pressure's
hook,
on.
but then my other misses a push slice. But you're absolutely right. So when you test our launch monitors, or when you put everything through the Joe Legowski test, the 60 meter shot that you can hit on demand, and you can hit it again and again and again within a meter. That's really hard to do that outside, I think. Like if you go to a driving range, and I think as well, if you buy a bucket of balls, the last thing you want to do is just practice hitting 30 meter shots, because it just feels like you're hitting money away. Like you just constantly, it feels like a
100%.
wasted ball, if that makes sense. It's like why everyone wants to bomb a drive with the last ball, right?
Yeah, and range balls, at the end of the day, range balls are rocks. They're not going to give you good feel, and they're not going to go the same distance as a premium ball anyway.
And this is, a lot of people say I want to be able to take my launch monitors to the range, and that, in my opinion, that doesn't make any sense. I mean, if you're a member of a club where you hit Pro V1s off turf, okay, maybe that's probably worth bringing your launch monitor.
Yeah.
But if you're going to hit off a terrible, cheap hitting mat, some horrible balls that are rock solid, what data are you getting from that, and is that really going to be representative of what you get on the course? So I think a lot of the time when people really think about it, they go, do you know what, I don't need to bring it to the course, I actually can just use it here. And then you can go and practice those field chips and stuff outside. Absolutely.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
And I will say as well, like, knowing your distances doesn't have to be boring range work. Like I only have time to play rounds on GS Pro, but every time you look in that top right at how far you carried your club, and you just learn naturally how far your clubs go. And I think outside, I very rarely pick the wrong club. I hit it badly, which is a different thing totally, right? But if you know how far it goes when you hit it good, that makes a big difference.
Absolutely.
Spin. Oh, not that much.
Stay there. Don't come back down that
I thought it was
slope.
going to like go too far.
Oh, no.
You know what?
Oh, it's stop
A
there.
couple of meters further, it was the shot.
And I've hit it 96.
Absolutely flushed it.
Come on, come back. I got a bit excited, I think.
Adrenaline. I was watching the PGA the other day and they're saying about how if someone's in the lead, they start to club down because the adrenaline makes you hit it further. And I was like, this game just never gets easier, does it?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like you're taking into account wind, elevation, the humidity. You're taking into account all these things. Then all of a sudden, because you're in the lead, you need to take your adrenaline into account. It's like it's just
it's incredible, isn't it? Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go there. This is because I'm gonna push it up the hill quite hard, I think, and then okay.
Come on, Scotty.
Oh,
oh,
that is a wild.
Watch
that
this
is a
now.
wild
Where's this
putt,
going to
though,
end
isn't
up?
it? Because
Oh, no.
that should come on. Stop it.
Stop. Oh, no.
Oh, that is miserable. All right,
That's in the
learn from
rough.
miss it.
Okay.
Miss it
Sure.
short and on the high side.
I just want to give a massive shout out. Massive shout out to Greg. Watch this. I'm going to go into free flight mode. I'll hit F5. Massive shout out to Greg. I'm going to wander over here to this. Now, you can't see this, Sam, but you'll see it when you watch the replay. I'm going to go over to this van on the side of the green. Yeah. And you can see there, he's put up the image of me and a little shout out to me. And I really appreciate that. I really, really appreciate that, Greg. That is super cool. There's a little QR code there. I'll send that to you now, Sam, in a message. He's put a QR code there that redirects you to the YouTube channel.
Nice.
And that's really cool. I just, yeah, massive shout out. All right, how am I going to hit this putt now? Because watching yours, I've got to aim this. Where did you aim that?
Good. I think you've just got to go way left because it's all about pace as well. I got freaked out by this hill and was like, I'm just going to, just roll it up and then it'll roll back down. But as soon as it goes over, look at how fast those dots are moving right. So it's like you kind of get it up the hill and then it falls down the hill. So I think you've just got to, the ball's got to die at the top of the hill essentially.
Did you aim at the left-hand side of the circle?
No, not that far. So I think you need to go closer to the left of the, I think. I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm going to go there.
I think I was inside. I don't know.
I don't know if I've got it up the hill. Just stay in the gimme circle.
That's fine.
I'm happy with that.
Let's move on.
Happy. Okay, so that is 4 under the front 9, and for a scramble score, not the best golf we've ever played, but, this is the first time playing Lofton, so...
Oh, my God, what are you doing? Off the rock?
Kick off the rocks.
Oh, okay.
So, can you imagine how diabolical this course would be with Stimp 13 greens?
I mean,
it would just
it's
be
diabolical anyway. I mean, look at that. That's quite narrow. And everywhere off the fairway is dead, pretty much.
I mean, I'm tempted to just hit a hybrid off this tee. I know that's a bit cowardly. But...
No, I think you should. It's a really narrow fairway, and I don't know why I'm slicing. That's very bizarre.
That'll put us like 120 out, so that'll be fine. Don't hook.
That's fine. That's going to kick right.
Oh, it didn't.
That's okay.
That's fine though. 134.
Okay, so I think I've got to take it's 123 meters. I've probably got to hit 135 meters. Hang on. Yeah, that's really bad.
All right. We're just showing everybody that sim golf is actually quite realistic.
Absolutely.
So this is hard because it's going to come out right the green's feeding it right, and also the wind is off the right, off the left, pushing right. So I'm just going to hit a solid pitching wedge. I pulled it.
That's okay. Kick
Oh
right.
no.
Oh no.
Kick right. That is not good.
Okay, this isn't very nice, is it?
This is not. We're not in a good situation.
We shouldn't have played back 9.
To be fair, yours is not that bad.
Oh, actually, I can look on mine, can't I? Okay.
I reckon we take yours.
No, don't take mine because it could collide with these rocks if it's not. Do you know what I mean?
Do you
Yeah.
reckon?
I don't know because where is the ball? Because it could. Oh, okay.
Too late.
Okay.
We've got a bit of a backstop. I think this is.
But you got to send it up in the air, right?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that didn't go anywhere.
Deep rough. Did you think it
No,
was
I
rough?
think I duffed it a bit. I didn't get it clean at all. I
true.
hit behind it.
I'm just going to try and carry this 28. They're tough shots, these little field shots.
Oh wow, spin.
Oh,
Oh my word.
oh come on.
Well,
Oh, look at this.
What?
It hasn't stopped. It hasn't stopped. Okay, phew.
yeah,
Thank
but what? Oh, okay, sorry.
If that rolled out, I was going to call Greg
Yeah, get him
right
on the
now.
line. I've got a bit of shot delay on here. I definitely think I need to sort out the hard drive on here. That's better.
Yeah, kick left. Yeah, you got those.
Yeah, I know.
fades going
I
today.
never
They're
hit a fade.
generally...
I have made a couple of changes, but I guess it's better than what, duck hooks. You just cannot do anything with a duck hook. Like,
Oh, they're
if
killers, aren't they?
I'd much rather have just stayed like as a slicer and tried to hit a fade than try and draw it.
Hold.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Oh my, this is a bomb.
Oh, the kick. That's fine. It's just in
How
the rough.
far is it? 114. Okay. All right. So I think I could hit like a. I don't know if I can get over there with this. Oh, it's 9 degrees up. Okay. I'm gonna club up. I'm actually gonna
On
club
a
up.
massive upslope,
because
yeah.
I think it's gonna come out high.
Yep.
That has just gone nowhere.
That's
pretty good.
Pretty good for distance. I like that. You carried that 122 yards raw.
Yeah,
Okay.
that wasn't. Oh my god, that was nearly a shank. See, that's the thing is, right? I hit that shot and it was okay, but it didn't go anywhere. And then I've pulled up labs and it's like, yeah, well, you hit it out pretty much right out the hill. So
Yeah. That the overhead replay from the Pro T is just so cool.
yeah, I think the data's amazing, but yeah, being able to actually see stuff is, yeah, especially someone that doesn't
Yeah.
want to be buried in numbers all day. You just want to have a look and go, okay, what did I do then? And then how did that feel when I did that? And then you can just compare with the video replay. It's just amazing.
Oh, it's got to go.
Oh, we're taking one of
Just
mine.
didn't hit
Come
it.
on.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, seeing is believing, isn't it? You can actually see the club as it works through,
Yeah,
and
like-
you just get so much.
Yeah, there's
from
been scenarios where I've assumed I'm over the top because I'm pulling it, and then it's actually nothing to do with that. I'm way too far inside with a closed face. So it's like, actually, I don't think I would have known that if I didn't see the video. Or again, I
Yeah.
have the path data as well, I guess. But, visually seeing it is just a game changer. I don't know whether I need to...
Yeah.
I've got a little bit more.
Oh, look, the Scotty. I had my putter ready and everything, but I don't need it.
Oh, even I could maybe get here, Joe. What are you taking? Like a
Yes.
7-iron?
It's a par 3, Sam. So I hope you can.
You're kidding me.
It's
a
a par 3.
220 metre par 3.
Yeah.
Well, I won't be playing this again. All right. Driver on a par 3. Come on, man. Finally, a draw.
Oh, be good. Big kick.
You know, I
Ah,
purposefully just tried to take a bit off that as well. And look, see, a draw. So, like you said, swing speed for me, like
yeah.
if I start going fast, I'm either going to leave the face open or hook it. It's just plays havoc. I feel as well like if I to stop slicing out, I try and hit it out of the toe a bit more. It's kind of a good
Yeah,
feel.
use the
Yeah,
gear
it kind of
effect.
helps me to hit more of a draw.
Oh, that was bad. Please work out. This is a tough hole.
It's just so brilliant that I said, "Oh, you know what? I can get there." It's like, well, I hope so. It's a par three.
That was classic.
Cheers, Greg.
Oh.
Okay, bump and run. Come on. I pulled it. I should have taken a 9-iron. I just pumped it
Yeah.
up in the
Do you know
air.
what's interesting? These shots are very much outside. I would play this with like a 9 or an 8 iron, but I need to start playing with more feel in the sim. I'm so used to just taking lob wedge because I have those reference points in my swing.
Well, if it
So,
works really well, why would you change it? But then for me, I
yeah.
practice these bump and runs inside because
Ready.
outside there's no way I'm hitting like delicate 54 or
Yeah.
like 60-degree chips onto the green. Like I need to be
Yeah.
bump and run everything. So being able to do it off a mat's really good. I mean, look at that. That's closer, but yeah, you kind of
Oh,
got to finesse those, haven't you?
yeah, you do.
But yeah,
Yeah.
hitting a bump and run off a mat's really, really tough.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to start playing those more as feel shots in the future. Oh, yeah, lovely.
Okay,
Good
that
putt.
feel was good. Let's hit another drive.
You just found something.
Yeah, I just like I said, I can't remember the last time I hit a slice, so that was pretty weird.
You just got the
I know
slice
it's,
today.
it's
You got
so
the
weird,
fade.
isn't it?
That's fine. We're short par five. All right. So before I hit this, Sam, I'm going to talk about DIY home builds versus buying an enclosure, and I want you to get your thoughts on people that are thinking of building a golf sim or getting a golf sim at home. I know I did a DIY sim, and I can give my thoughts, but from your experience with dealing with customers, DIY, build it yourself at home versus buying an enclosure.
So DIY is a term that I think can be interpreted differently. So if you're going to DIY your sim, that could mean you just buy the components that you need and then put it together. So what you see here is technically a DIY, I guess, because we didn't get someone to come and, you know, physically build this structure and do it all of the other components, right? So yes, it's DIY, but at the same time, I'm not having to build an enclosure. This is the one thing I would say to people, particularly in Australia, don't bother. It really, I think, yes, a custom built enclosure is going to look better if done properly, but that's a big if. And I think talking to a lot of customers that have gone down that path, really, it doesn't take long for them to realize that they can become a bit of a money pit. You know, there's no set way of doing it, and I think that's the challenge. There's no set list of instructions you can follow to build your custom bay. And then the second challenge is in Australia, finding the right components is just impossible. You know, you can buy things that you think will do the job, use them for 2 months and realize they fall apart every time a ball hits them. You've wasted $3,000 cladding it in something that's not the right fit. So that's just risky as well. The other thing is the detail. So our enclosure has 46 meters of Velcro sewn into it. So there's a reason you have to have all these details in to make it function, right? So we're pummeling balls at it all day, and you need to cover all of the poles so that the ball can't escape, but you also need to have a perfectly flat screen as well. So there's a lot of things that need to come together for it to look good and function as well. And I think where people come unstuck a little bit is, you know, a custom built enclosure looks so simple, right? It's just a screen with some cladding, right? And particularly if you're a builder or a carpenter or any tradesman, to be honest, you're probably going to look at it and go, I can do that. But then when it comes to the finer detail, it's very difficult to get right. You know, like, are you going to hang the screen so that it ends up just taking so many hits in one spot and it's not tensioned properly? Then you get through a screen every 3 months that costs you $1,200 every time to replace, or $2,000 depending on how big it is. That becomes a money pit as well. if you can't seal the edges off and you keep buying new things to try and do it properly, it becomes a money pit, and you don't have an enclosure you can just rely on and know that it's going to work. So I think one of our enclosures is just a good idea to say, I just want to play golf and I want a high quality screen that's going to last a long time, and obviously it's going to look amazing as well.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. And I'll talk about my experiences with building my sim was mine looked quite good. I will say it looked quite nice, but the issue with mine was it's lucky I'm a consistent golfer and I can hit the screen every time, because for about, I'm going to say 6 months, maybe longer, my kids and I didn't want other people using my sim because there were so many points that they could hit it that would cause issues and would have balls bouncing around the garage. So ceiling protection was a big one. I had to build my enclosure and then put a bunch of different band-aids on it to try and like seal off points, to try and make sure nothing ricochets back. So it took a long time, and a long time not, playing golf or playing sim golf to get it to where it was actually usable.
Yeah,
So it was just
I
constant
think as well
band-aids.
they look good on the surface, and then the closer you get, the
Oh,
worse it looks, right?
yeah.
Yeah, we see a lot. We see a lot of that, and I think there's a big number of customers that are just, they've been down that path and go, do you know what? Like, most of the time we play in low light. I mean, I play with quite a lot of light in here, as you can see, and I'm not really too fussed about, if I turn the screen down now, it's going to look amazing. I get that, but it still looks great with the lights on, so I'm not too fussed about that. But majority of golfers, great shot. Majority of golfers
Thanks.
just are going to play with ambient light anyway. So I do feel a bit like, how much of your attention is actually on everything surrounding the screen. I think once you start using it, I think a lot of people realize that if you're going to drop 10 grand or up to 20 grand if you pay someone to build you a bay, it's
Yeah.
nice, it's luxury, but is it really, is it going to be that different to your experience of using a one of our bays, for example? But it all depends on the customer. Sometimes we have people that have a particular budget, and I'll say to them, oh, like 100%, go and get a custom build. Like, it's going to be, if you want that premium next level, absolutely. I'm not going to say this is better than a
Yeah.
custom build, but what I will say is this is better than people's first effort at a custom build, if that makes sense.
Go in. Go in. Oh, you're
I wonder if
kidding.
I hit that straight. Ah, there you go.
That was
Zero
a
point
good,
zero. Look at me.
that was a really nice
I kind
putt.
of went a bit harder because I didn't aim as far right, so I kind of blasted it through it a bit, if that makes sense.
I've got mine about, I'm going to say 2 feet outside right. I didn't have it far enough out, I don't think. Okay. It was actually I rolled that really nice, but again, 0.0 HLA. That's a birdie because that was a par
Oh,
5.
okay, cool. Oh, that was for eagle, was it?
Yeah, that was, yeah. So I guess with screens as well, I know I've used a lot of different screens. I've used a couple of screens that I got in the UK sent over from
Yep.
Phil, who plays a lot of sim golf, hybrid me. And that material was
Yep.
fantastic, especially the first lot I got from him lasted a long time. But this screen that is in these enclosures, I don't know what you've used. This stuff is seriously
Yep.
durable. Like, I haven't seen anything this durable. This is, I mean, next level. I can honestly, obviously you're going to get burn marks from the golf ball, and it's actually the spin that leaves the burn marks on there. But this, I cannot see any like evidence of like, micro tears or anything on this screen yet. And I've used it a
So we're
lot.
actually using, this is the original prototype enclosure from November 2022. And granted, my ball speeds max out at 150 miles an hour, but this has had,
Yeah.
it must have had over 200,000 shots. Like, when I calculate how often, I use it every night, for example, and then at weekends and things like that. So I could replace this with a new one, but I want people to see that these last a very long time. And since we actually started selling this enclosure in January 2023, which obviously gave us enough time to kind of test the first screen, We still haven't replaced the screen. So we've sold over, I think, 200 enclosures, and we just haven't replaced one yet. So we've got a bunch of them on the shelf ready to go. But there's two things to screens, and look, I learned so much in the groups, much like you do, right? I think the biggest thing is the actual screen material, of course. So I went to every manufacturer I could to see, or reseller actually, to see what was it like, and there was they're all pretty similar. They all certainly look similar and feel similar, but when you really take a super close look at them, you'll realize some of them were a little bit different. And a big one for me was light bleed. So some of them looked like the exact same material, but when I held a light against them at the same distance, one of them was letting more through than the other, which is what you don't want. So it's interesting that, you know, that there's obviously manufacturers out there, and I was lucky enough that when we were working with our manufacturer, we went back and forth for a long time, and I sort of said, well, this isn't quite the same, I want this one, and it took just a long time to find what we thought was the best material you can use for a screen. The second part is obviously how you actually hang it. So this screen looks super tight because there's just no wrinkles or waves, but it's actually really loose, and every shot that goes into this is not going to be putting a lot of tension on the screen. So you can absolutely have it perfectly flat but still really loose, and that's how it should be. And that's why, again, going back to the whole custom thing, unless you get it perfect, you're going to have a lot of issues with screens. So again, I think taking the headache out of trying to build your own and just knowing that when you buy an enclosure, it's just going to work. And you know, we take into account the tolerances between when they're manufactured. So if they're 2 centimeters out, we know you can still tension them, right? Because there's bungees that go all the way around. I think the other thing on that as well is, those two things combined, the screen material and how it's connected, that's how you're going to get a screen that lasts a very long time, and obviously allows you to have, like this, right, 4K for, you know, not much more than HD in terms of like your total build cost. And you know, everybody wants 4K these days, and there is absolutely a massive difference, as you know, but that difference, you can only realize that if you've got a good screen.
Yes, absolutely, yeah.
Be good.
And you can't underestimate kick right for us, kick right. Yeah, that's not bad. Lovely. A flat screen for me is a massive thing. I even when I was doing my build, making sure the screen was perfectly flat is huge to me. There's nothing worse than having a wrinkly screen.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty common thing I see on a lot of these golf sim forums. People have their DIY stuff, or they're buying enclosures that don't have very good screens, or the design of them isn't very good. And yeah, it would really annoy me, right? Especially if you spend money on a projector, it's like totally wasted, in my opinion, if you go and show it on something that has loads of wrinkles and waves in it. Like, what's the point? Like, you might as well hit into a net. So
exactly, yeah. Just pulled it. I'm not going to get my putter ready. I'll meet you on the next tee.
Pressure. Oh, not enough. Not enough. Oh, stay. Yes. I thought that was gone. Did you? I thought that was gone way right.
Well, it kind of straightened up, didn't it?
Again, see, 0.4, not bad. It's all about the Scotty for me, unfortunately, lab.
Yeah, it's all about the lab for me.
Yeah, and I can see why. I totally get it all, but yeah. I'm a very handsy putter. I've always been like to hit the ball with my hands and direct it with my hands, and I think unlearning that over 8 months just wasn't really happening for me.
Yeah.
Actually, where am I aiming? Let's go. I just got so under that, it's going to go nowhere.
Popped it up.
Yeah. I think I actually teed it up a bit higher.
That is, I'm just going to send driver, why not?
Oh, 100%.
Pulled it.
Oh, wow, stop. That's okay, there's no water there, we're good.
To be fair, that is not, it's not too bad. I'd prefer that shot than 184. What about you?
I'll agree with you there. Okay, so this one, deep rough, but because I'm taking the 60 degree, I don't really have to take into account the deep rough as much, right? Because this is going to launch high, and the penalty will be less.
Yeah.
So if I can hit
I'm going to
this,
say 20%.
okay, so I just need to hit this as good as possible, I think, to get there. That's not enough. I should have taken an extra club.
So what's that giving you? Yeah, 19%.
That's quite a lot considering
So
it's a 60 degree. But then again, I probably didn't launch that as high as you should with a 60.
This should be pretty good as long as it is 20%. This should actually be
Yeah.
quite good for a club for me.
Ready.
Oh, again, that was straight out the hill. That was such a that could have
Was
been a
it?
shank, yeah. Yeah, 81, perfect. Bounce. You'll see as well,
Lovely.
your spin then, it didn't zip back because it was in the deep rough. So where it takes the spin off, you never get those zip back when you come out the deep rough, right?
Exactly, yeah. So 10,000 RPM. However, because we had 50% of the spin, it acted as if it was 5,000.
Yeah.
I think for me, GS Pro is just such a good software. To be able to get it at home is just incredible.
Oh, no. I need you here, Joe.
Oh, no, the Scotty. The Scotty. What happened there? Where'd you aim that? I wasn't even paying attention there, I think.
Just one hole cup right, and then,
Yeah.
Ready.
yeah, I just didn't hit it.
The lab's got to step up. We've got to get to double digits. Actually, I might even play that a tiny bit more.
Ready.
Yeah, because it's uphill,
Okay,
so
there.
it's going to slow it down a bit and I guess take a bit of slope. Yeah, lovely.
Lovely.
Loving the fade today.
Yeah. It's,
Really weird.
It's yeah.
Yeah, they're all coming. Yeah, they're all coming out the hill. So it's just crazy.
Do you want to? I might hit a. I'm just going to hit a forward off this tee because it gets quite skinny up there. Talk to me about the future of sim golf. Where do you see sim golf? Because what I've seen, I'll quickly give you my take. We've got the Foresight units that are incredible. We've got now other units popping up that are incredible, but they're higher price. Talk to me about entry-level launch monitors, where we're going to be, say, 2-3 years from now with launch monitors. What's your opinion?
I think we kind of, like most things, we don't know 100%, but if you look back in time and look what's happened over that time, I think it's pretty easy to understand that the technology gets better and the price comes down because it becomes cheaper to make. So you look at launch monitors 10 years ago and what they could do and the price point, it's pretty obvious what's happening here. You get more for your money. They're developing new technology that's cheaper and can deliver the same results. There's obviously the big thing, I think, as well. AI is going to play a massive part in that as well. Machine learning.
Well, it already is with the Pro T.
Exactly right. So I think it's actually a case of not necessarily the hardware just being able to be better and better and better or more expensive, but maybe you can do more with less because of the software capabilities. So machine learning and that sort of stuff is going to make a huge difference, I think, and obviously helps to bring the cost down because that's obviously a lot cheaper than having hardware or more expensive hardware might not be necessary if you actually have AI learning system that can do something that delivers the exact same results, right? And like I said, if you have something that's consistent, like the Pro T, if it's consistently off by a certain parameter, that's just such an easy fix, like even without AI. But I think that's where it's going. And for me, I think it's just the best thing for, sim golfer or just golfers in general is being just more accessible, right? So I think gone are the days where, you have to spend 50,000 Aussie dollars to get a decent sim. Like it's one of our biggest challenges is, people go to a commercial facility that costs $100,000 per bay. And then if they look at the Albatross package, for example, that we have for 21, their expectation may be that it's a fifth as good, or it's that kind of correlates with that 100K, but it's just not the case. You're investing in the technology, not the services of building it. So you can get more for your money because you're just spending the money on product instead of the design, consultation and installation services.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I've leaked that so bad.
Yeah, I mean, I've used a lot of launch monitors. I've gone to all the commercial facilities, Big Swing. I've used TrackMan 4 a lot indoors. I've been to X Golf. And I can honestly say, even in my house with, an MLM2 Pro, you're going to get a far more accurate representation of the ball flight. The MLM2 Pro is incredible for the price, the accuracy. The Square Golf launch monitor, you're going to get an amazing experience that surpasses and exceeds commercial facilities, in my opinion. What you can get now is going to beat the commercial facilities.
Yeah, I think it's hard to disagree. I think look, I've been fitted in those facilities, and there's numbers that are different to what I see here, and you kind of think, oh well, this must be wrong because we've always said that the gold standard is this. But yeah, I don't know. I think these days, I think there's the technology. I think is a big thing. So photometric is clearly better indoors. That's why there's no. Oh, look at this. Oh wow. We'll take that.
Lovely.
There's no the big guys these days, they're not using radar for indoor, like they're just not.
Yep.
So I think that says a lot about previous tech and what we were being told around, no, this is the gold standard and that's that. Everything else is disagreeing with it because it's inaccurate. I'm like, I think, well, now maybe that's not the case if your whole technology changes, right? But I think it's pretty clear, with the Pro T, watching those cameras and how it actually gets that data is pretty amazing. Like you can see how it's measuring it. So, okay, let's hit a good shot. Come on.
Yeah, the technology is definitely changing, and cameras now are just, even old cameras, the technology was there, but people have learned how to better use it. And radar's fantastic for certain applications in a launch monitor, things like ball speed, vertical launch, horizontal launch angle, things like that. That's where radar's really good because you're getting such a high refresh rate. There are issues with radar though. There's limitations, and I think even TrackMan, who is, they had their TrackMans that were pretty much started, all of this launch monitor stuff was started a lot from TrackMan using a radar, and it's fantastic outdoors, but even they've come to realize that indoors you do actually get better data using cameras, and that's why we see the TrackMan IO and things like that.
Yeah, I don't know how that sits with, and look, TrackMan's something that we haven't really dealt with them or spoke to TrackMan in Australia, and I think we kind of stay in our lane a bit, I guess, around, look, we're not at the super high premium end, although I believe that buying one of our sims, the actual experience you get is better, or similar experience or data wise, you can still get something that's that accurate. But I don't know how that sits with over the last God knows how many years using radar technology indoors and saying that this is the gold standard, and then all of a sudden the next one they bring out is this tech that has been around for ages. So it's interesting. I think at least what we do know is if they're going towards that technology, then I think we can all agree that photometric is absolutely what you should be using indoors.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
But I think to answer your question earlier around where we think it's going, generally speaking, I think it's just going to be more cheaper accuracy is the easy way to say it. I think you're just going to be able to get accuracy for a better price point.
Yeah.
And I think
he's back.
One of the other things is when the launch monitors get to a point where the accuracy is all pretty much like they're not even disagreeing with each other, like you don't buy a launch monitor that's inaccurate anymore. Let's say we're at that stage. We're so close to getting at that stage now, or the tolerances are so low or so small that, I don't think you're going to get buyer's remorse as much anymore, because if you're buying something that's accurate, in a year's time, it's still accurate. You're not hitting the golf ball any differently. It's still the same thing, and it's still going to deliver what you need. The only thing that you might miss out on are new features, like AI swing trainers are the big thing that's in. And, there's going to be more features, but certainly not going to regret buying a unit that's fundamentally gives you the metrics from golf that you want and they're accurate, right? Once you've got that, I don't think you're going to regret anything really, as long as you know that data's good.
Yeah.
I've leaked that.
Okay, pressure's on. We've got to finish with a birdie.
We should have recorded our round the other day. That was better.
I know, yeah. I know, but
But I say that, but that was like one of the only rounds where I've played that well, so I would say that.
let's just try. This is a skinny fairway as well. This is tough.
Yeah, we're 10 under. It's the last hole. Let's go for it.
And what I will say is the course record around this course, do you know what it is?
I don't know.
No, so the course record around here is held by Victor Hovland,
Ah,
and he played this course. It was a day or two after his major finish. It was the British Open, I think, where he finished fourth. Did he finish fourth that year? I can't remember. He finished fourth, I think, in the British Open, and then he drove to Loughton and played it and had 8 under. So 8 under is the course record.
sorry, Victor.
So what we're saying is we're better than Victor Hovland.
Sounded fast.
Oh, I've done the same thing, Sam.
Yeah, but not as.
Go.
I mean, look, it's so far, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
This is what Bryson does. If you get it that far, who cares? All right, learn my lesson. Let's take a bigger club here. Oh, 10 degrees up. So if I'm 77 here, I think I've probably got to hit maybe a 88, maybe a 90 shot.
Let's go 20%, and then we're on a what? 10-degree upslope.
Yeah.
So we can add what? Let's just add 10. Play at 102 meters. To the
102?
hole.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's this club. 100. Sit.
I'm officially your caddy.
Hit it 102. Best I can do is 100. Sorry.
So what did I was just trying to think of the calculation I did. So I added 20%,
Right.
and then I just added 10 meters for the upslope. So I just went
Oh,
a
okay.
yard.
So you add a meter per degree.
Well, I just did it then. It worked out quite well, didn't it? Maybe that's a
interesting.
thing. Maybe that's a real thing.
Yeah, a meter every degree. I mean, I definitely wouldn't have hit the right shot there because I was trying to hit a 90 shot, which was like a 3/4 one of those. But when you said 102, it's just pretty much a smooth one.
Yeah.
All right, look at that.
We finished strong. We warmed up and we finished strong. But no, that was a lot of fun. And thank you for sharing your time and coming on the channel and just kind of explaining what Bayside is, letting the people know what this partnership means and, you know, the opportunities that we're both giving each other. So it's fantastic. Yeah. Thanks a lot.
And thanks. Yeah, I think the partnership is something I've wanted to do for a long time, but I just think I didn't know how it would work because I think one thing we didn't want to do is give the impression that you're just going to be trying to sell our products, right? I never want your channel to, you know, be like a sales part of our company. It's more a mutual partnership that benefits both of us, right? So if you look at your testing and what you do, I personally don't know anyone that could do that level of testing and have your level of expertise. So from my perspective, it makes sense for you to have the benefit of putting launch monitors in your hands to do these tests, which obviously helps your channel to grow. And obviously just give people an insight on what your opinions are. And like I said, the big thing is I'm never going to tell you what you can and can't say about them because, like I said at the beginning around being transparent, I'm not in the business of trying to just force someone to buy something or make more money on, right? So I think, and like you said, with the technology that's coming out, as soon as a new launch monitor comes in, we're already talking about the next one. So the next, I think next year is going to be totally different. I say to people all the time, you know, let's take the projectors, for example, in our packages. You know, if you buy a package from us on one day, you know, if someone else says to you, oh, what package was that? I'm going to buy it in 6 months' time. It might be a different package entirely because we might see a new projector that fits that better, or we make upgrades to the PCs that we build that might be a bit better. The launch monitor might change, you know. So there's all these things where you have to keep moving. Otherwise, you just end up selling things that are just behind. And really,
yes,
there's more. But this is golf. It's a golf sim, but there's much more tech than there is golf, if that makes sense. Like fundamentally, this is mostly technology. And I think, you know, we all know that it's moving so quickly that you can never just find something and go, that's it, we've nailed it, we just sell that now. It's never going to be like that. And that's the fun part, right? Is we get to constantly change, adapt and see what's new and bring this stuff to Australia, because I think it does get left behind a little bit. So yeah, that's really the plans for the next year, I guess. And yeah, I'm sure you're going to have a lot more content to be making.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Next year is going to be chaos. And so is the end of this year. I mean, I've already got a few launch monitors heading my way that I think people are going to be really interested in. So,
Making more work for me, Joe, but that's fine.
yeah. All right. Fantastic.
Thanks very much, mate.
Okay, and that was the match. I hope everyone enjoyed that. I hope everyone found that insightful and got a lot of information out of that. And I hope everyone understands now, you know, the real reason why I partnered with Sam and Bayside Golf. It was a choice, and I really feel like this partnership, I mean, it's exciting. We're only in the early stages, and already we've accomplished so much, and we've been able to help each other and provide each other, you know, with stuff that we couldn't have done by ourselves. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, let me know. Any comments or questions, leave them down below, and I will catch you guys in the next one.